Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome to the Nintendo GameCube. This is going to be an action replay focused second playthrough of Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. So welcome to the action replay menu. It's going to be abridged. Right now it's post-commentary because it was just easier to set up all the codes that way. We're going to go to action replay codes, USA, and not Rogue Leader. That was another video I did. And we are going to go to Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. And there's a slew of codes in here, some of which I had to create myself a long time ago using this program called GCN Encrypt. And that's all I'll say on that. If you want the codes, I can link to an old video I made that shares these codes. But control enemies L up and down on the D-pad is what we're going to be focusing on right now. The rest of this is all inventory codes, except for this. Enemies and others on team Z plus left and right on the D-pad. That code can mess things up because it puts enemies on your team permanently, including the Black Knight. And I don't know, it's just shady to mess with. You can definitely get into some like lockups and stuff with that. The rest of this, like Free Forge, is nice, but we're not focused on that yet because we have to open the lid and insert Fire Emblem. This is why this is post-commentary, because it's kind of like I rushed the beginning here. But we're going to start a new game. You can see there's my casual Let's Play file that we had when I did the Let's Play reading every line of dialogue. And because we're going to be cheating immensely, we could play on difficult. I've done that before. But I chose normal here. The difference is on difficult, the final boss has a second phase to him. And I chose random here since we did fixed in the casual playthrough. So random, it really doesn't matter. You'll see the cheats are going to override the level ups anyway. And we're going to skip all this stuff. If you want to watch Fire Emblem Path of Radiance with the story and everything great about it, you can watch my regular Let's Play where I did not cheat. And I read all the text and we watched all the cutscenes. But this is normal up until Chapter 8. So we have to rush to Chapter 8. So turn the animation off, game speed on fast. And since you've already seen this, I'm assuming you've already watched my other Let's Play, so we're just gonna rush through this. This is the focus of the code in the first chapter that matters. Pressing L up and down on the D-pad changes who you control, so you can control the enemies. At this current moment, I can't remember if it's L up. I think L down is enemies. And so what you can do is have them drop their weapons. So I just had that guy drop his axe. Now this guy, you can move them, you can control them as if they're your own units. So I'm having them drop all their weapons, and I did move this guy, I think. Yeah, I moved him. The turn-based post-commentary is definitely weird, but never mind. This guy we moved closer, hoping to get Oscar to kill him, dropped his sword. And the other guy, I don't mess with that pirate. You're gonna lock the game up if you do, so you gotta press L up to control your units again. That's why you see the map zooming in and out, because I'm holding L and pressing up on the D-pad and down on the D-pad, and L is the camera button. So every time you press L, the camera zooms in and out. But you can see that you can attack with no threat whatsoever of getting attacked back. You don't even have to pay attention to the numbers in this case. And this is just a way to speed up the first 8 chapters. I don't like this code so much, but it definitely speeds up the beginning of the game before you can do all the fun inventory stuff, which is where the heart of this really kicks in. But yeah, you want the first turn to be the same, so that guy demolishes that house. I don't know what happens if you try to visit that house. I'm pretty sure you probably lock up the game. But obviously with the code, you could visit that house. So we're not going to watch all of this, but as you can see, it slows it down a little bit. It actually slows down. This is not a good thing if you're trying to rush these chapters and beat them in the shortest amount of turns possible. This is not a good code to use because the enemies cannot attack on their turn anymore. So, unless of course you leave them with their weapons, but that's kind of the whole point of this code, is to be able to control them and make them drop their weapons. But because they don't attack on their turn, it actually racks up how many turns it takes to beat the chapter. So it's a little bit weird. And here I just moved Titania up. And, yeah. She gets attacked, which is fine. She's the beast in the beginning of the game anyway. But pretty soon all of our units are going to be like that, and even better. Because we're going to not hold back with the cheats. So alright, we're coming up to the end here. We visit the house, get the Seraph Robe, and you know the idea. You've seen the first 8 chapters. So we get to chapter 8, save and quit, and now let's go put the cool codes on. So back to the action replay menu. I like this device. I wish it would come back. I wish everything wasn't just mods. But going back to USA Fire Emblem, Path of Radiance. And we're going to take control enemies off. We're done doing that now. And you can have infinite money, infinite bonus experience, have your stats always level up. But Ike has 80 uses of everything on his inventory. That's the beginning thing that you want. And then we have these inventory codes. Ike has staves, arm scroll, boots, and I forget the button to view the rest of it. There it is, L plus right. So I checked that to make sure I pressed L plus right. So we know L plus right is a command. Ike has all S-rank weapons, R plus right. The directions are D-pad references, so R plus right on the D-pad. All brave weapons, R plus left. Ike has Ragnell, Occult, and some other stuff, R plus up. Obviously the description, you can't put in everything that it does. Ike has bows and stat ups, L plus up. I believe that's ballistas, not just bows. I think it's long-range ballistas that you can't normally have in your inventory. Oh, I was a little bit confused making sure that I didn't double up on any of the inputs, because you don't want to double up. See, I have a bunch that say L plus left in here. You don't want to put too many of those on at the same time, because you'll break it. So I was just making sure I wasn't putting on the same direction. So for L plus left, we're doing S magic and stat ups. And then, yeah, see, I was looking at L plus left for range magic and demiband, rare staves and skills. Those two are L plus left as well, so we have to come back and put them on separately later. And that's all we're going to roll with for this thing. We're not going to worry about the free forge and forge 1 for max. Venom weapons R plus down I could do, but the venom weapons are kind of crap. So there you go. We got the inventory codes on. Back to the game. The beauty of Chapter 8 is you get your base, and now the most important thing is to stay off of Ike when you do the inputs. So whatever that was, L plus something to get the bows. Look at, I have the Bright Bow, Iron Ballista, Killer Ballista, plus all these things. Time to cheat like crazy. With the 80 uses code, it's not dropping down. But this is cheating anyway, because these are supposed to be one-use items, and they have 80 uses. And then we're going to put them in the convoy, and everybody's going to have free picking of them. And we're going to use Rolf this time and make him a ballista-wielding beast. Here's the S-rank magic code. I don't know what I pressed just then. But I got Rex Flame, Rex Caliber, Rex Bolt, Rex Aura, plus the rest of the stat-ups. Draco Shield, Secret Book, Spirit Dust. So all stat-ups are covered with my codes here. Statue Frag is kind of a little bit ridiculous, but... So defense increase. We're gonna max out Ike. We actually max out everybody, but this is... There's codes that say maximum stats, and if you use those codes, it puts like 99 and like these ridiculous numbers. So using these inventory codes is actually better, because you can max out your units the way they're supposed to be maxed out. This one, look at this, IID Warp, IID Berserk, and Unlock. These are staves that you can't normally get. And I was cranking up the boots. Look at the movement go up to 20. Ike can now move 20 spaces. Ashera icon, luck is gonna go all the way up to 40. It's crazy, man. But the Ashera icons you burn through, because luck is the one that goes all the way up to 40 for every character, so if you're gonna run out, even with 80 uses, you're gonna run out of Ashera icons probably, so it's good to put a few in the convoy. But Warp is so much fun to use. The problem is you can't level up staff users unless they just use a staff all the time. So this is the S-rank weapons, Vague Caddy, Wishblade, Irvan, Double Bow. So we got the S-rank weapons, but nobody can wield an S-rank just yet. So that's for later. Then here's the code for all the Brave weapons that attack 4 times. Brave Sword, Brave Lance, Brave Axe, Brave Bow. I don't know what I'm doing here. Oh, Arm Scroll. I was trying to increase Ike's sword use, but he's already maxed out for his class, so it doesn't matter. So I put the Arm Scroll away and put all those things away, and I think I drew the code again, yep, because I like the Brave weapons. We have to go back to Action Replay to activate the Killer Weapons code, and I will do that. But first I want to stock up the convoy with Brave weapons, and that 80 uses of Killer Ballista is so awesome, dude. Look at this code. This is special. We got an Occult Staff, Adept Staff, Alondite, Gurgaran, the final boss's weapon, the Devil Axe, and Ragnell. You probably don't want to try to use the enemy's weapon. I don't think you can. I would even be cautious of using Ragnell this early when Ike's not even a Lord yet. So I put that away. But that code is interesting. That you can have all like these S-rank special weapons that are for the final boss and stuff. I think I was just doing the inputs, making sure I pressed all the inputs. The problem is you kind of double up on the inventory when you do this. So yeah, we have a lot of those stat ups because I forgot. I didn't have it written down in front of me, like what input did which thing. So I think we kept this and we get another Warp Staff. The problem is Reese could use the Warp Staff, but he's got to level up his healing staff first because Warp is like rank level A or something. I wish I checked it to see. But obviously when you use boots the way I'm using boots, you don't even need the Warp Staff. But that's what makes these codes so fun. Action Replay, emphasis on replay. Here we go with Soren and the Arm Scroll. Soren's biggest weakness is that his magic is sucky E rank. So with the Arm Scroll having 80 uses, you can rank up his Wind, Fire, and Lightning magic, and then equip him with Bolting, Blizzard, and Meteor. And he can be a ranged magic beast. Suddenly so much more useful than he is in the standard game when he only gets like Wind up to rank B. So that's the idea. We're gonna do that with all the characters we have right now, including Mia, who we just recruited in Chapter 7. So everybody's getting boots. I went crazy with it, man. I shouldn't have, but that's what I mean about the replay thing. So here we go, putting on those other codes that had the L plus left input. So we gotta take off the one that said L plus left. S magic and stat ups. And instead put on range magic, demi-band. Could do the rare staves. Rare staves is kind of cool too. Yeah, what I didn't realize is I did double up R plus up. See, it says Ike Ragnell, Occult R plus up. And that's the one that was working. But R plus up is also the killer weapons Bolting, Adept. So yeah, and range magic plus demi-band. I hope this isn't too confusing. I'm doing my best to explain what these words on screen mean. So range magic plus demi-band, L plus left D-pad, and that should do it now. That is... We'll leave all the other input codes on. The chapter warp codes are interesting, but I actually played through, like you can start the game and go to chapter 9 right away so you have the base right away and can use these codes. But you do miss out on some units when you do that. So back to the game with the killer weapon primarily. R plus up for the killer weapons. I think we start with that one. Yep, Killing Edge, Killer Axe, Killer Lance, and Bolting. Like, what a beast code that is. I created that one, too. And it comes with those arm scroll boots, Speedwing, and Adept, too. So I load up the convoy with these things, because Bolting is a beast, and I love the Killing Edge more than anything. Killer Axe, Killer Lance, and they all have 80 uses to start, so whoever you give them with, they're gonna have 80 uses of it. So you don't have to worry about them breaking either. The problem is if you do these codes without the Ike has 80 uses, they all have 0 uses, and they're pointless. You can't use them. So you have to have a code of Ike having 80 uses. So now, oh, we do the other one. This is the range magic, L plus left for the range magic. Meteor, Blizzard, Bolting, and Purge. And look at that IID horror skill, plus Vantage. We got another Vantage and an Occult Scroll, plus the Demi-Band. That code is another beast one that I created. Using that GCN Crypt program. So this lets you, IID horror, you cannot get this in the game, but it lets you use the final boss's skill on any of your units. Daunt. It says IID horror, but it's actually Daunt. So if we actually go to skills, I'm gonna put it on Titania. See, it says Daunt. It doesn't break the game or anything. It's in there. Decreases hit and critical hit percentages of all enemies within 3 spaces. Very final boss type skill. Since Titania has counter and you might not want to take that off of her, go ahead and put Daunt on her. Now Titania is an absolute beast. Never mind the fact that her stats are maxed out because of the things. So this is what I mean about the replay value though. You could do these codes and control yourself and not max out your units. And that's arguably more fun. Here I assigned Miracle because I'm gonna do Ike. I'm gonna run Ike with Miracle and Aether again. Even though you could mess around and change up his skills in different playthroughs. So I think at this point I was still loading up on the killer weapons, but mostly getting ready to sort everyone's inventory for the actual action. And we are gonna do the next chapter with all these cheats having been applied. But we're actually gonna turn the cheats off before we start playing. The cheats are primarily for this base camp stuff, to just load up on all these guys. So Ike, rolling into the chapter, we're gonna use the Regal Sword, the Brave Sword, and a Killing Edge. What more do you need than that? You could take the Ragnell, but I don't trust it. So yeah, and the Regal Sword has been bumped up to 80 uses, even though in the previous chapters I was using some of it. So yeah. This also renders the infinite money code kind of useless, because as you could imagine, you could sell some of these things with 1,000,000 uses, and it sells for a lot, which is what I do here. So we don't need all these boots. So I sold a couple of the boots to get our gold up, so now, even though we have inventory codes for killer weapons, statue frag too, we don't need that. Yeah, I like this better than an infinite money cheat. Selling things for actual money that's not infinite. But I would keep on to your Speedwing, secret books, definitely the energy drop, and the Ashera icons, you're gonna burn through them anyway if you're gonna max out everybody's luck. Boots, you want to have a couple on you, so don't get rid of all of them. Because right now it seems like it's way too many uses, but between all the units you recruit in this game, you burn through them kind of quickly. And see there, I traded the talisman to get it back up to 80 uses, because we only have 1 talisman and 1 energy drop with these codes. So you gotta be careful not to burn through them. So while the 80 uses code is active, it will be wise to reset them to 80. Now, getting Soren ready for battle, we're taking Blizzard, which instead of 5 uses, it's supposed to only have 5 uses, it has 80. Same with Meteor. So, this game just instantly becomes more fun to use these crappy ranged units that normally suck for a while. And it's fun. Right now it's just numbers and nonsense, but when you see it in action, it just makes you happy. So here we might have to arm scroll unless I already arm scrolled. No, I already did, so he's getting a Brave Lance and a Killer Lance. He cannot wield the S rank until he classes up. Only Titania right now can wield S rank stuff. So, getting rid of the iron. We're keeping the hammer and the poleaxe, getting Brave and Killer Axe for Boyd. The Devil Axe is risky to use because it hurts you, I think. I think that's the thing about it. Reese, we can't do much with him, so I actually did not stat boost him. Because see how you can't equip the staves on the base menu? So you can't arm scroll the staves, which is a real shame. Because then, if you could, I would use Warp Staff right away. But yeah, Brave Sword and Killing Edge for Mia. Although, I don't think we're going to favor her this time. I think we're going to use Zyhark. We're going to change up the units that we use this time, since this is a second playthrough. So, with everything squared away, save, and just to be safe, turn off all the codes and just play the game normal. So, now it is time to see what these codes do when you give everybody 20 speed, 20 defense, 20 resistance, 20 movement range with boots. But like I said, it's almost better if you control yourself and just do like 1 or 2 uses of boots. And don't level everything up to maximum, but level it up as needed. But anyway, this is the chapter Ike's dad just died. That's where we are in the story. We're not going to use Reese because we didn't cheat with him. Since he's kind of useless, we're just never going to use him this whole playthrough. Even though he's a good contender for the Warp Staff, we might not be able to show off the Warp Staff. So here I just rearranged people to get mostly Boyd out of the middle so he's closer. Not that it matters when they have boots. So, right away, look at how many movement spaces. We could go and talk to this girl, Ilanya, or whatever her name is, right away, but it would be a risky move, because she would probably die next turn. So rather than controlling the enemies and having them drop, we're just playing like normal, but our stuff is, we're just a monstrous force, because look at Mia's stats here. Everything's maxed out. 20, 15, 20, 20, 40, 20, 20. Plus her Vantage skill. So yeah, this... I think I go to the side of this guy. And stick with the Regal Sword for now, because it's actually effective against Knights. We'll switch to live commentary from now on. It's just with the opening and closing of the GameCube to activate the cheats. I figured post-commentary would be easier to start things off. So Soren, have him hang back and enjoy your new ranged magic. It's nice to have Soren be useful early on in the game. And this is the same thing, you could use the short spear. But, the javelin does enough because he's so powered up already. With speed and skill, it's hard for him to get hit. Just have him run back and play defense. Just like you would normally, but... So, again, if this is not your cup of tea, if this is really annoying to you and just defeats the purpose of the game, then by all means don't watch it, I guess. But, don't dislike the video either, because that doesn't make sense to me. Just go watch the vanilla playthrough, where we didn't cheat at all, we played it legitimately. So yeah, like, this does defeat the purpose of the game, but we still got units to recruit. We're not going to go to the end of the chapter with just these units. So there's still people to cheat up. And, we don't necessarily have to max them out. Like, see how Titania has 60 HP? That's maxed out. Problem with ranged magic equipped is, they can't attack back. But that's beautiful. Oscar was so crap in the first 7 chapters. And now he can attack twice and kill. All thanks to those inventory codes. But, as you recall, playing on easy, legitimately, there was no challenge to it at all. We very quickly got to double enemies and not necessarily kill them like Oscar's doing here. But we definitely doubled them pretty fast. But yeah, it's painful in the beginning when Oscar can't double. Like, I didn't enjoy that segment of controlling the enemy units and having them drop their weapons and stuff. It was just a slog to get through. Yeah, he's got the hammer equipped because of all these knights. One-shotting him. So like I said, that's why it's called action replay. Because the emphasis is on the fact that you're using it to replay the game in a different way. After you've already done it legitimately. So this is a second playthrough. We're just having fun with it. Seeing what happens when all your units are a beast. And we're gonna use different units that normally suck. Like Rolf. And make him a tank. And yeah, just kind of go to the end chapter with a different lineup. And we're gonna do different support conversations this time too, so while we're not gonna be reading the story necessarily, we will be reading the support conversations. So in this one in particular, I focus on Ike and Soren. Alright, we gotta recruit Elania, so we gotta make a path for her, so Mia with the killing edge. It makes the level ups more boring because, yeah, they're already maxed out, I get it. But the fun is in doing the number increases. And now we can actually use this girl. Remember how sick and useless she was? So you gotta be careful and still rescue her because she is not cheated up, she is very vulnerable. But we could actually replace Soren with her if we want to, or roll with 2 mages. But either way, Blizzard. You gotta make the noises, man. And let's just stroll right on over to the boss. Because this guy with the red gem is hiding, and that's unacceptable. So we have to do a Brave Lance 18 times 4 on the boss character as Oscar. Remember, this guy was actually troublesome, legitimately? He almost killed Soren in our first playthrough. But now, he is dead. Not even a challenge at all. Because obviously we are way over-leveled for this point of the game, and that's the point of the action replay. That's... But more so, like I said, it's better... Fire Emblem is frustrating when, like, you level up, but your stats don't level up. So you can use this code as a means of countering that. So let's say you're playing legitimately and you get 5 levels and all of them suck. You can use this code to countermeasure that. And maybe that's the better way to play, rather than just making everybody maxed out already. So I don't know if this is going to be interesting for everybody, but yeah, we're going to play through it and use a different team and have different support conversations. Like, that's the thing to look forward to, I guess. We could have done this from the start, but I think it's a good thing we played it legitimately. Switching up to the Brave Sword, not that it matters. Just trying to vary the usage. But yeah, these early chapters are kind of stupid anyway. I think the game gets much better as you get on. So the next one is the Gallia chapter with Leith and Mordecai. And Rolf and Mist join, remember? So we're going to actually use Rolf. So next time we're going to be leveling up Rolf and using him. So we're going to have an archer for the first time, and we're not even going to ever worry about Shinon. Testing out the meteor here. There's some enemies that use meteor magic we've seen, but to use it yourself, and to have 80 uses to the fact that every chapter you can use your ranged magic, that's pretty fun to mess with. Like this chapter, you're supposed to be like barely getting by. Like defeating the enemies and then getting overrun by new waves of enemies. But when you cheat, you can clean the map and actually enjoy yourself. Just have Titania hold the ground. Nothing going on at all. So I think I had Ike drop What's-Her-Face. So she's all safe back in the home base, and we can level her up at the base. And we will. Have Mia go for the kill. And now the reinforcements are going to flood in, because it's only turn 4 of the 8 turns playing defense that is required to beat this chapter. And there's no enemies left because we've overpowered them all. So Mia's actually in trouble. And look at this, I can almost reach. Had I just done 1 space less, he would have been able to reach this enemy because the boots is ridiculous. But yeah, she's got an armor slayer, so mine as well. With that speed cranked up, she's dodging everything. Luck being at 40 on these guys is doing something. So yeah, we could use Mia again, but we might as well switch to a different character since we used her in our legitimate playthrough. Blizzard! You gotta make the mouth noises, man. I didn't that time, but... that was luck, factoring in a critical hit. Ike is not much different, because remember, he kind of was close to maximum already when we were playing legitimately. He hogged a lot of experience, and there was a point where we had to stop using Ike and give the experience to other people. Because Ike typically levels up pretty fast. If you use him right. It's so crazy. Too many uses of boots. Like, I've done it before where, I've done like 1 or 2 uses of boots on the foot soldiers. And then the guys on horseback, I give them crazy amounts of boots because that makes sense. They're on a horse. And the flying units give them crazy movement range because they're supposed to have more movement range than everybody else. But yeah, sitting here doing this commentary, I kind of wonder if there's a point in this as a second playthrough. Like, if we were still reading the story and stuff, there would definitely be a point, but the point now is to just cheat and use different characters. So I don't know how the commentary is gonna go after this episode. But I want to go back to just live commentary, hanging out, and less emphasis on all the specifics of these cheats and stuff. Can Oscar reach? Yes, he can. You don't even have to read the numbers, just mash it. But even though they're crazy right now, by the end of the game, it's not that much more overpowered. Like, the end of the game is still tough. Because it expects you to have some maximum stats at that point. Final turn. Obviously, you would attack the guy that Boyd would probably miss. Just ranking up that blizzard magic. Actually, you know what? It's fun to cheat with this and not use boots as much. The boots definitely kills it a little bit. But like, if you don't use boots, then that just makes Soren and Rolf that much better since they have the ranged magic and ballistas. But there you go. They get saved by the Beast tribe, Leith and Mordecai come. And we've seen that. So now, we have a little bit of maintenance to do. Without needing to go back to the action replay menu because we have... Yeah, this is him saying the stats. So, info, nothing good there. Support conversation, Ike and Soren is a new one. We didn't do that last time. We did Ike and Oscar. So let's read it. So that's how much we spent. Supplies are running low. We need dried meat, fresh fruit. Ike, are you listening? Huh? Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I would have never guessed. Sorry, Soren. Look, could you run the report by me again? You're tired, Ike. You need rest. Go find a cot somewhere. You can tell? Of course, when you're not feeling well, your left eye twitches. That's odd. I never noticed. Get some sleep. I can manage things for a few hours. Well, I am pretty beat. Go. You know, Soren, you're not nearly as insensitive as the others say. Deep down, you're a big softy. Excuse me? Oh, nothing. I'm going. Don't let the bedbugs bite. There we go. I got a little bit of Ike and Soren that we didn't get to see before. And now, we gotta sell that red gem. So we gotta sort through this crazy convoy full of stuff. Still sell it even though we sold some boots and things. Soldier band. I'm basically just putting away the stuff. This is the things that I did off screen in the playthrough. It's just like all the junk that you collect in the chapter, give it to the convoy. But now, this girl, who I can't say her name, Elanya, or whatever it is. Elena? I don't know. But we're gonna arm scroll her. So her thunder magic is now rank B, I think, and she can use bolting. And the only other thing we have is fire, unless we trade wind magic with Soren, we could get her wind magic up too. But there's no need to do that, really. Look at how many boltings we have. That's awesome. So yeah, trading thunder to Soren here. Having Soren equip thunder and use the arm scroll. It's so stupid that fire, thunder, and wind are separate in this game compared to how they are on the Game Boy Advance. And now he can use bolting as well. So he's got 3 ranged magics and then his wind magic. So Soren is a monster right now. But you gotta pick and choose. Do you use him? Do you use the other girl? I think we're gonna roll with both of them for a little bit until we have unit limitations. So let's level her up. Give her strength, which is, for a mage, only caps out at 10. Magic to level 20. Put that stuff away. Take the remaining things, Secret Book, Speed Wing, Ashera icon. Go nuts! It's +2 every time, so yeah, like look at the luck. Just going all the way to 40. You never see anybody with luck level 40. But that just increases critical hit ratios and all kinds of things. So now she's on par with Soren. And she's got, like, she's not useless and weak now. She's actually good. Plus, I think I trade fire with her now and get her so she can use meteor too. Yeah, the fire spell that came from chapter 7. That and the arm scroll. So equip the fire, use the arm scroll. Look at how much it had to level up. The magic in this game is, I don't like how they do it. But with cheats, you can override it. And now she can use meteor magic as well. She's rank B fire and rank B lightning, not focused on wind with her. And her shade skill is unique in that, like, she kind of... I think enemies avoid her. If there's a choice between her and somebody else, they're gonna attack the other person. That's what that skill does. So there you go. That is what Action Replay with Fire Emblem Path of Radiance looks like. We're just gonna now casually do a second playthrough and use different characters and have different support conversations. And, not really use the codes as much anymore, but roll with these 80 uses that are in our convoy and stuff, and level up who we want to use. So thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed it, and take care.